Hello, everyone. Episode, 18, maybe? I don't know if I forget. I think it's 18. But welcome. This is the Put Me in Coach podcast. I am your host, Cole Jenkins. Today, very special guest, but I have to do my, I told you I had to do a hype video before we start. So, uh, the day that we are recording this is the 29th, I think. Um,
Yeah.
Pacers Pacers are 13th today, ladies and gentlemen. Um, if we mess this up, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, if we mess this up, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm wearing a hat right now for those just listening that are not on YouTube. And if we, I'm just gonna say if we draft Corey Kispert, I'm not a fan of the Pacers anymore. That's just how.
Really?
Yes. That's how
Wow.
it works. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it this year. If we draft a dude that just shoots from three and there's another Doug McDermott, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. But we got a good guest today. Played with him growing up. Been on the show before, the podcast before. Jontay Porter. Jontay, how you doing, my friend?
Man, I'm doing good. Thanks again for having me. Always a pleasure.
Man, I love that. I love that you're back on. I didn't really want to try to get someone else on the pod because I thought maybe might be weird, but I was like, it's my freaking pod and I can do what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but how are you? I was cheering for you against the Jazz. I know it was only 5 games, but it was a really good series. Like every
Yeah.
close until you guys got mollywopped at the end. But we'll not talk about that game. But the series was pretty good. I think the team looked really well, and I just want to get your perspective on the series and how you guys think it went and how you guys are feeling afterwards.
Yeah, man, I think it was a really good step for us as an organization. We're one of the younger teams in the league, and that was our first time making the playoffs with this group of guys. So great step in the right direction. I know those playing games were tough. San Antonio, Golden State, both were games that we easily could have lost. So to make the playoffs despite losing in five, like you said, was still a pretty big step for our organization. And it was a great experience for us young guys, even though keep going back to those losses. But yeah, like you said, great games, really competitive. We showed we could compete with those teams. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's what's most important. And then we have this long off season to get better and hopefully go further this year.
This is the first year that the play-in games were a thing, and you guys played in two of them. What was the feeling going into those, and what was the feeling, winning those? Did it feel like a playoff game?
100%. Yeah, it was a pretty wild experience just because the year prior, which was my first year, well, I signed in the middle of the year right when the pandemic hit. So my first NBA experience is in the bubble. And then this whole year is like no fans and eventually 10% of fans and 20%. And then once the playing games hit, the NBA just like got rid of all the capacity rules, just packed to the max, and everyone's loud, happy to be back in arenas. Just really cool experience, and that's as close to playoff basketball as I've ever experienced. So I'd say it's great experience. Those playing games felt just like the first round against the Jazz, and yeah, we came up on top, which was awesome.
I think you obviously have to kind of take it a game at a time, just because if you win the first play-in game and you lose the second, you're out. So it's like
Yeah.
your mind had to be all over the place. Was it hard to transition from, oh wow, we got to play 2 games just to get in the playoffs and then focus on the playoffs? Or what was the real mindset going into those?
It was tough, especially because like one of our last games of the season was against Golden State, and it was like whoever won that was going to be the basically have the advantage where they only needed to win one game to advance, or they could afford to lose. They weren't 9-10 or 7-8. So we lost that first game against them, which was tough. Everyone was like, dang, this is gonna be really hard. Because then the Lakers ended up dropping in. So even if we did beat the Spurs, we knew we had to play Golden State, which was on fire with Steph, and then LeBron, which was last year's champ. So it was a daunting task, and to be honest with you, it was like, I don't know about this, but we kept playing. We went into Golden State after beating San Antonio at home and really just put it on them. So it was a awesome performance. I was hurt, so I wasn't dressed or anything. I was just on the sideline cheering them on. But that was like the most fun experience I've had watching basketball ever. to see Steph, who's one of the best of all time, to do it, and then all of our guys just like desperately clawing, trying to get into the playoffs. So the celebration afterwards was wild too.
Man, it had to be unreal to go to Golden State. I mean, everyone's against you. Okay, like
100%,
you guys
yeah.
are playing Golden State. Everyone and their mothers want to see Steph Curry in the first round of the playoffs, and you guys spoiled it completely. I mean, you guys had to have been pretty excited after that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like you said, everyone wanted to see Steph in the playoffs, and everyone expected them to. I'm not a betting man, but I'd imagine those odds are pretty highly favored the Warriors. So yeah, we were kind of like the villains of the NBA for about a week there. Everyone's like, "Oh, Adam Silver's losing his mind. He's losing all this money off Steph being out." So it was pretty funny to be a part of on the other side of it. But like you said, the locker room celebration was definitely really special, and like I just mentioned earlier, just a big milestone for our group to make the playoffs officially and have to prepare for Utah in the coming days. It was really frantic, really rushed, but a great moment to savor nonetheless.
You guys play in Utah. Is Utah that tough to play in or be in? I've heard, or you hear players say that. Well, a lot of them don't like Utah, the people there, but
Yeah,
a lot of them say that that's a tough place to play in and be in. What was the environment like in there?
it was wild. Well, their fans are just insane, like loud, just like most playoff teams, but Utah especially, I'd say. And on top of that, the altitude, like I remember that was my first play groups when I was getting healthy again, and I was just straight out of breath after like one quarter. So it's pretty wild. There in Denver are both the higher altitude, and couple that with the crazy crowd and the Donovan Mitchells of their team. It's pretty tough environment just because they shoot so many threes, make them as soon as they hit 2-3, the place is just going wild. So to take that first game was very, very hard, but really, really great feeling. It made us feel like we could actually win that series too, you know?
Playoffs are just a lot of fun because with a team like you guys are so young. Like half of you guys could still be in college right now and
Yeah.
be balling, but you guys make the playoffs as an 8 seed. John Morant takes that next step. I mean, it looks like he might be a goon. I mean, we all knew he was a goon, but I mean, like
Yeah.
retrospect of the whole point guards, like he could be up there as one of the best ones. And then guys like Dylan Brooks really made a name for himself in the playoffs. Um, did you guys follow the lead after those two, or was Ja the one that was kind of just like, this is my time, this is my moment type of thing?
Yeah, it was really cool to see that unfold because I mean that whole year, obviously they were two of our leaders, John and Dylan Brooks, but to see them take like that next step and kind of will us to victory, especially in that Golden State playing game. Like you said, John took that next step, Dylan showed that alpha dog in him. It was kind of like follow the leader a little bit, and everyone was kind of barking on the sidelines and getting into it. And it kind of just fueled our whole energy in the locker room. So that was definitely special to be a part of as a team, and I think individually just huge for those guys to hopefully uh, take that next step next season too. We'll see.
I've seen a lot of players that Rudy Gobert won Defensive Player of the Year, and anyone that's listened to this podcast before, they will know that I don't like him. I don't think he's great. I just don't. Is there a lot of yapping going at him? I mean, are players trying to talk to him the most out of anyone on the court?
Yeah, it's strange. I don't necessarily. I mean, he is pretty cocky in some areas and does some antics that you're just like, "What are you doing?" But for some reason, he's like one of the most hated dudes in the NBA amongst NBA players and fans. I'd say. I don't know whether it's the whole coughing on the microphones during the coronavirus thing or him crying over not being all star, whatever that was. But it is pretty. He's very notorious for being hated. So I don't know what it is. He's a good player, but yeah, he's definitely hated on.
Is that a feeling that people have? I mean, like you're in an NBA locker room. Is that something that we need to go out this guy? This guy isn't really that serious.
Yeah, I mean, dudes were like, at least in our locker room, like, because in the back of your head, when you go up against a 7-1 dude with long arms like that, sometimes you're timid to go to the rim just because he blocks a lot of shots like that.
Mhm.
We were just telling ourselves, like, yo, He's soft mentally. Just go up at him like you're about to dunk it. If he blocks it, so what? Just keep going at him. And I think that's part of what Dylan Brooks and Ja Morant were trying to instill in us, and they definitely took that lead. Ja was trying to dunk on him like twice a game. I don't know if he actually got one down, but just that mentality of going at him constantly, I think was really big for us that series.
I really love the team that you guys have right now. I think your backup lineup, Xavier Tillman did great things. Grayson Allen. Is Grayson Allen a D-bag?
No, surprisingly. So I got here, that was like my first impression because he's also notorious for you either love him or hate him, you know what I mean? But he turns out to be like a really nice dude, very quiet. He's one of those guys you probably wouldn't want. You probably want him on your team, but not to go against him because he says some stuff under his breath to you. But in terms of being a teammate and everything, he's a great dude. I love
Does he trip you at practice or no?
him. No.
I mean, I just had to ask.
I couldn't say it. I'd be a hater. But
I just had to ask because he's known for tripping.
Exactly. That's probably where he got his reputation from. But I think he's calmed down, got a level head on his shoulders now, so he's pretty chill now.
But before I just took a shite at him, you guys have a good roster, a really good roster. And you guys just kind of, I don't want to say reloaded because you guys have already been loaded, but you guys retooled some things. I think that deal for you guys, getting Steven Adams, who's a titan of a man, huge individual, and you get Bledsoe, who kind of gets a bad rap, but he's a solid player. And you guys get to move up in the draft. I mean, you got to think that that's a pretty good deal for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I know our front office wants to take that next step and like hopefully compete in the playoffs, knowing we could potentially win a championship. Last year was great because we made it. This year, I think they're really trying to, compete for it. So any moves necessary. I love Jonas as a teammate and a player. He's obviously one of the best bigs in the league. But definitely excited to have Steven around. Eric Bledsoe, we'll see. I have no idea because I find stuff out just like you do on Twitter. But I know there was talks about him like maybe not staying in Memphis or being bought out. I'm not sure what'll happen with that, but I know Steven will be here. We moved up in the draft, which is great. We'll see how that unfolds tonight. And yeah, kind of like you said, just reloading, trying to take that next step for this coming season.
So you just said that you find out just like the rest of us. I mean, is that really how it works now? Is that you're just like a fan almost when it comes to the breaking news?
I mean, it used to be different. I'm sure it's different for dudes that are hired. Like LeBron wouldn't find out he's traded on Twitter. He'd probably be told that.
Yeah.
But for us dudes, I know even for Jonas, like he found out on Twitter, and it's just insane that that's what it comes to. But it's just a world of social media, Woj, Shams. They're all leaking stuff as soon as it's done deal. So you can't blame them. And I know it's not intentional. They wouldn't want us to find out on social media, but that's just the way it is. Like they already leaked who the number one pick is tonight. Just stuff like that just gets out and about, and there's nothing we can really do to stop it. But it is pretty crazy.
So I mean, tonight's the NBA draft, like I said. I know I'm muting Woj. Are you muting Woj and Shams, or are you gonna just put your phone down?
I feel like I need to. I saw that today. I'm like, this is definitely what's going to be the theme the whole night. I kind of want to watch it and enjoy it, So I'll probably mute them or just delete Twitter. We'll see.
Seems like this draft could be really good. I mean, I know you guys sit at 10. I don't know who the hell you guys are getting because you guys are loaded, but you got to think it's kind of exciting to be up that high and still be a really good team.
Yeah, it is. And that was a byproduct of moving up in the draft with that trade with Jonas. So that's definitely a positive. They must have had their eyes on a guy at 10 that they didn't think they could get at 17. That's my theory, at least. But we'll see what happens. Either way, there's a lot of studs in this draft, like you said. And I think, regardless, hopefully they'll join us in the summer league and we'll get buckets together. We'll see.
Yeah, are you hoping that they get a guard then? I mean, I know you need that rock. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, passing point guard, pass first, just give it to me. I'll get 30 a game. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really care who we get, as long as it's somebody, who can help the team and fill the gaps some way or another. And you kind of alluded to it earlier. We're pretty loaded in a lot of positions, so I really don't know which position we're going to draft. So it'll be really interesting to see.
I mean, you guys could go 1 through 5. I mean, maybe other than the 1 because Jaw's pretty good. But I mean, like, you can even get him a backup. You really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something that you feel that's going to help you guys just with depth, maybe, or do you think this could, be something different?
Yeah, I think depth for sure, and hopefully whoever this is that joins our team tonight will blossom into a star. That's at least what's expected out of lottery picks these days. So I don't know what position he'll be, but regardless, I think he'll fit right in with the guys. We're all accepting, no egos or anything, and hopefully we can all rock out in summer league and into next season.
Put Me in Coach podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, the best men's below the waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels, and they just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code GOODTIME at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I've been lucky enough to get my hands on one of these bad boys, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their skin-safe technology. It's time to get your own ball hair and trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time, and your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GOODTIME at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code GOODTIME. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Now back to the show.
When does summer league start?
I want to say for us, like August 3rd. Yeah, we play August 3rd, August 4th, August 6th, and then we go to Vegas.
So I mean, obviously you've been down for a little bit because you're nursing that injury. I mean, how excited are we to get back? I might have to buy a jersey once you hit the court because I need to support you somehow.
I appreciate it, bro. I'll send the jersey your way. I got a few extras here, but yeah, I'm thrilled, man. It's been too long since I've been able to play somewhat pain-free, being able to run up and down the court and jump. It's a feeling you definitely miss when you're in pain so long. So I'm hoping I can maintain that through the summer league. This has definitely been grueling for me just because I haven't done anything but a couple practices here and there, a couple, minute restriction games in the G League bubble. So it'll be good for me just to get out there and trust my knees and hopefully produce. And we'll see what the future holds for me. But regardless, I'm excited to be around this group of guys.
I haven't played with you for a decade, at least. It's been quite some time. And I don't remember you. I knew you were a menace on the block. I know that. I know you're a post playmaker. We know that. But have we been expanding the range a little bit? Are we a stretch 4, possibly 5 now?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's definitely probably what I do most nowadays is just shoot. I pass the ball a lot, try to make plays for other guys. But yeah, I used to just be bigger than everyone, so I just sit on the block and either pass it or shoot it. But now I've kind of expanded my range a little bit. Probably got inspired by my brother, because that's all he did growing up, and then tried to be like him. So here I am.
Man, your brother. Yeah, I was texting you a little bit in the Portland series, and he's about to get a bag, my friend. A bag.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, not too many players like him, his mold, his ceiling are come around too often. So if he can stay injury free, man, he's gonna be really special. Not that he already isn't, but yeah, special.
I would assume that you guys train with each other like as much as you guys can.
Yeah, we do. Especially, well, our schedules don't line up the most just because obviously his playoffs went deeper than ours, and us young guys, we get like 3 to 4 weeks off after the season, then we're back here grinding. So we didn't get that much of a window. But after Vegas, we're planning on working out quite a bit back home in Missouri. Might pull up to Indiana and get in those runs with you guys. We'll see.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, I'm not very good, but I can pass. You know what I mean? If you want to set me a nice screen, maybe a roll, I can hit you on the top. We can make that work.
Yeah, man, we'll make it work. We'll make you an all-star point guard.
Oh, that just made me so happy. When you're working out with your brother, you guys play a lot of King of the Hill?
100%. Yeah, that's like our go-to at the end of the workout. So I'll be honest, he gets me most of the time, but I think I guard him much better than anyone else can really, just because I know what he's going to do every time. And that doesn't stop me. That doesn't stop him all the time because he just shoots over you. But I'm able to get my hand on the ball, strip him a few times. He probably wins 3 out of 5 games. I'll give him that. But
3 out of 5, so we're almost there to 3.
yeah, he can't hold me, but I can't hold him either. But also, he's notoriously bad. I mean, he's not like a terrible defender, but like he's not good enough to guard me one-on-one. That's for sure.
Yeah, so you really saying that in public, huh?
Well, I mean, yeah, we'll have to broadcast one of our King of the Hill games. Maybe make it pay-per-view for like a few extra bucks to cover travel to Indy this summer. We'll see.
I could let you borrow some of my mics and be mic'd up.
That's the plan, man. That'd be great.
That would be funny. What's your go-to move then against him? Because I mean, you say you know all of his moves, but I bet you he knows all of your moves. So do you try to mix it up, or what's the go-to?
That's the thing with me. Like he's more predictable than me, just because he has this like the side step three, the kind of just like one dribble pull up. So, but me, I just be kind of mixing it up on him. He can't just sending him left when I go right, stepping back, he goes to the rim. It's just I'm just playing. I'm not gonna act like I'm the best player in the world, but I'd say most. I definitely have probably have better handles than him, so I just try to mix him up a bit, create separation, and shoot. It's really whoever wins is based on who's shooting it better that day, and typically it's him. So that's the only reason.
That's so funny. So you could really dribble better than him. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, That's not like I haven't played in a while, so I haven't been able to display that. But I definitely have a better handle than him right now. He's working on it, though. We'll see if he's been in the lab much.
You probably have to teach him a couple of things. So when you're nursing this injury, is like spot up shooting and like handles like the main thing you're working on? Because you can only do so much with your injury.
100%, and that was definitely the go-to, especially when I first injured it. Now that I'm able to do a bit more, I've been expanding and having more intense workouts. But that was definitely for about 2 years. It's like all I could do. So it's pretty crazy. Kind of getting used to real basketball again and the tempo of things. I'm trying to whip myself into shape, cardiovascular wise, and this will be like my first real test since being healthy. So I know it's only about 6-7 games, small sample size, but I couldn't be more excited for it.
Well, you best believe I'm gonna try to watch those games. I mean,
appreciate it, bro.
I not only do I love basketball, but whenever there's someone that I either played with, know, or played against, I have to tune in just because like I either helped them get 20, saw them get 20, or they gave me 20. So it's like either way, it's like it's fun for me to see how everyone's doing.
Yeah.
But what are we what's the plan for the summer league? I mean, do you have any personal goals that you're trying to set this summer?
Man, not much. Mostly just be able to play the full. I don't even know what if it's still a regular NBA game, it'd be 48. But play as many minutes as I need to help the team win, feel good doing it, and hopefully make some shots. So there is a little bit of pressure for me just because it's the first time I've really been able to play. Same with the front office. Like this is kind of going to be like an audition for me just because I haven't been in front of them much. So a little bit of pressure that goes along with it, but as long as I'm feeling good, I can't be mad about makes or misses. I'm just happy to be playing the game again, you know?
Man, I'm excited, man. I can't wait to see that. I really hope that you do well and that you go injury free for sure.
Appreciate you, bro.
Let's talk for the next 5 to 10 minutes about some goofy stuff, all right? There's a lot of movement going on in the summer. I really don't know how much I can talk about this because it's like tampering or some BS, but growing up at least, who was someone that you wanted to play with or kind of maybe even model your game around it? Those two types of questions, I guess.
Yeah, 2 questions because there's a different answer to both. I've always been like a huge Braun fan, so I was always like wherever he went, that was my team. So when he was in Cleveland and when he moved to Miami, oh shoot, I'm getting a call. Sorry.
You're good.
Back. Yeah, it was LeBron for who I just loved, idolized, and then with that, because most of kind of when I was getting better at basketball, he was in Cleveland again. So I really loved Kevin Love, just how he was able to pass the ball full court, shoot, spread the floor, score down low. that was really who I tried to model my game after for the longest. And people told me comparisons like Chris Bosh, Lamar Odom, but I think that was just because I was a lefty, just like them. So I'm not sure how much merit that has to it, but these days, man, Nikola Jokic, just what he's able to do playmaking wise, is definitely something I try to do a little bit. So we'll see if I can get to any comparable level of Nikola. I think I'm doing a good job.
I was gonna say, I feel like young bigs. I mean, Jokic is like the mold that you want to be because there's nothing that he can't do offensively. I mean, he's a goon.
100%, especially just because he's notoriously not that athletic, and I'd say especially with my knee injuries, I'm not in the NBA because of my freak athletic genes, if that makes sense. So I'm in it more for my playmaking, shooting, all that, ball handling, and trying to just be the best I can at that. And when I think of those traits, I think of Nikola Jokic. So that's mainly why I say that.
I saw this trend on social media, and I think it was like the 82-0 challenge or something like that. So I'm not going to make you do the filter that everyone else does, but I do want you to make a starting five that you would think could go 82-0.
All time or current?
Let's do all time.
All time. I'm going Steph at the 1, Jordan 2, LeBron 3. Shoot, this is tough. Actually, I'm moving LeBron to the 4, KD at the 3.
Yeah.
And who do I put as center? I feel like you got to go Shaq.
Yeah. There's really no one else.
That's probably too stereotypical of for all-time 5, but I think that has a good combination of playmaking, defense, and just flat-out scores. So it's hard for me not to include KD, even though there's probably better all-around players in that position. KD is too good of a scorer to leave out, man.
I always say to my friends, I'm like, for the next decade at least, Kevin Durant's going to be on my Mount Rushmore. I mean, that guy is different.
Gotta be, man. Especially just how long he's been doing the same thing. Nobody can stop him.
So,
that's similar to that too, if you think about it.
Who, as far as because that's your starting 5 all time, are all those guys pretty much your top 5 of all time, or is it kind of different after that?
Yeah, I'd say that's close to my top 5. I don't know if KD's reached top 5 level yet, but I think he will be by the end of his career. I think Steph will be by the end of his career. Jordan, obviously, LeBron, obviously, and then Shaq's just the most dominant center. But for top 5, I mean, I'd probably put Magic in there. And these are also dudes that I've only seen highlights of, so it's probably hard for me to accurately present a top 5. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's just with the NBA nowadays, scoring is so valued compared to back then. It's just hard to compare apples to apples. You know what I mean?
It's so tough. It's really hard. I don't want to talk about this too much because I'm pissed about it, but the Olympic team stinks. Okay. I mean,
for no reason.
I don't know what it is. They're all pointing fingers at something. Bam didn't give me my ball back. Pop is running plays that we don't like. I don't know what the problem is, but I can tell you that team ain't that hard to coach with all those goons. What has it been like for you watching that? Is that something that you dream about doing? Is that something that you hope to do? Just give your thoughts about the Olympics right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, to answer your first concerns, I don't know what the issue with them is because it seems like their worst player will be the best player in any other team. So I don't think this is narrative that every other country is caught up to USA. Not to mention, all of the NBA's best players aren't in it. LeBron, Steph, James Harden, Kyrie, all them. But they're still good enough to be 40-piecing everyone. So I don't know what it is. I would be surprised if they didn't win gold still. I think they'll turn it around. But it is kind of embarrassing how many have they lost? 2 or 3?
Like 3.
Yeah, 3.
We're literally 500.
Yeah.
Like that's not good. We are the only reason why we're 500 is because we beat Iran, and I didn't even know they had a basketball team.
Man, yeah, we'll see what happens. I know this is a quick tournament. I think they have like 4 more games left or something, so we'll see what happens. But to answer your second part of your question, I think that'd be an amazing opportunity. That's definitely not on my all-time goal list. It'd kind of be a side prize of being one of the best players in the NBA, which is mainly my main goal, is to be one of the best that I can be. With that comes being an all-star. With that means hopefully winning a championship, and alongside that would be hopefully competing for a gold medal one of these years. But if I don't make it, that doesn't mean I'm a failure or anything. I'm just going to try to be the best I can be. So we'll see what happens with that. But right now, what's in front of me is summer league. I'm trying to go kill that, maybe kill the season, and then a few years down the line, we'll see.
It just blows my mind that we have a team with 10 all-stars, 10, and we stink. We literally stink.
Yeah, man. And honestly, it's embarrassing as a fellow U.S. citizen. It
has to hurt a little bit too, since you're in the league. Actually, you're probably thinking that you could go over there and drop some buckets on these Iranians and whatnot.
We have a French teammate named Killian Tilly, so he's from France. He probably could have played this year, but it's like, because he's always coming in celebrating Wuhan that we're losing and they won. It kind of pisses everyone off. Like, you guys are not that good, and so it's funny for sure, but nothing I can do about it from over here.
That's hilarious. Obviously the Olympics is one of my favorite times of sports in general. Obviously last year we didn't get it. Have you been watching the Olympics outside of basketball? And if so, what's been your favorite sport to watch?
A little bit here and there. Honestly, I'm at the gym most of the day, and I get home, I kind of just want to chill. But I'll turn on the TV, whatever's on is on. For some reason, swimming is really interesting to me. Like seeing them go at it. I've always been interested in that, even though I'm not a great swimmer myself. So I've been watching that. I watched the girls basketball 3-on-3, which is cool because Kelsey Plum, I know her. So yeah, she's great. She's awesome. So I was watching them. Besides that, basketball when I can. I didn't watch last game because it started at like midnight, but we'll see.
It's tough to watch the Olympics for us because, it's like 3 a.m. when the cool stuff starts. It's like I don't.
Exactly.
I'll end up with this. This is your third year.
This is I guess you could say that. Yeah, I played I was with the team for the bubble, which was like 8 games, and then last year I was with the team the whole year. So this is technically my second year, but
we'll take that. We'll take the younger one. So in our second year, I want to hear your goals. I want to hear what you're striving for this year. Obviously, it's to stay healthy. That's a given, and I really hope it happens. But playing wise and maybe just team goals, what do you have set up for yourself?
For myself, I think I just want to help the team in any way. I'm not sure what my role will be with them because, like I said, it's the first time I've been healthy, first time I've been around for training camp. So we'll see. Hopefully carve out some playing time. If not, helping the guys in practice. But I think if I can stay healthy, I can definitely contribute with them or with any team I end up with. So that's one goal. If I win, I'm with the Grizzlies this year. I think our goal should be to win a playoff series and hopefully build on last year. Not take any steps in the wrong direction. I think our group last year is really good with just the culture of the locker room and all that. So I know there's new guys coming in and some guys leaving, but I think if we can all keep the same attitude and keep the same camaraderie, then we can do some pretty special things, both individually and as a team. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but basically just to have a good, fun, solid year. I'm not sure what's in store for me personally. But if I can get some playing time and hopefully contribute to the team, that's really my lifelong goal. So we'll see.
I don't think you could have answered that any better, to be quite honest with you. But man, I really appreciate you coming on and talking hoops. It's always fun to have you on. When you figure out those dates for the Las Vegas League, you gotta text me or something because
I'll text you for sure, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man. I know you don't want Corey.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm so serious when I say I'll burn this thing if we draft Pittsburgh. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. But hey, I'll keep in touch with you. I wish you nothing but the best this year, Jontay. And thanks for hopping on.
Yes, sir, bro. Take care.
Yeah, dream girl, dreaming. I be dreaming. Missing all the days you got me fiending. I said I love you, babe. You know I mean it. Hey, yeah, dream girl. I be dreaming.